Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news by geeks like you. You're new to our show. We cover the geek news beat and we share our opinions. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me we got Randy. Say what's up to the people, Randy.
Yo, what's going on, Geek Beast? Chuck, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, Star Wars celebrations going on in
Yeah,
Japan. And so that's where we're going to spend most of our time.
I would imagine.
So Star Wars has announced a number of things. First thing on the list, Star Wars Starfighter. Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling unveiled details. Set 5 years after the Rise of the Skywalker, because that was such a great movie. The new installment is
Are
set
you
to go into production this fall, May 28, 2027, in theaters. So
this
they have
fall?
they have starfighters even after the Emperor got killed.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're starfighters. Yeah,
But
like
what are they fighting?
I don't know. I'm assuming some new threat has risen in the galaxy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Maybe Ray. Maybe Ray's a Sith now.
Oh
She's giving
Lord.
it to her Palpatine line bloodline.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, the is one if one thing we know for good, the rebels are not very good at governing. They're good at toppling governments. They're not very good at governing.
It is it's a standalone movie outside the Luke Skywalker core canon. Sounds like a money grab. You know why it sounds like a money
Yeah, so
grab?
are they saying it's coming out this fall?
No, it's coming out in 2027.
Okay. 2027. Okay. Now, I thought you said this fall. I
Uh,
was like, oh, wait a minute. That was quick.
Levy is the cornerstone filmmaker for Disney, having delivered them the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, Marvel Studios' Deadpool versus Wolverine, which meant it $1.33 billion.
The only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to give it a chance. I'm fine with being fair with it. It's just that Star Wars has such a long legacy. Like, why do they feel the need to create these new looks when they can draw on like decades of source material, even if it doesn't have to stick completely original to it, but like we do have a canon.
What do you
Like
mean? It
we
can
do
they're
have
going forward. They're going to put him in a new galaxy,
we still
probably.
have a canon that takes place in the future. I mean, it takes place after the original trilogy. We still have a canon that takes place
No,
after,
that's all that's going to change because Ray's going to be the main trilogy.
and I hear that, but like we could, if they're just pulling from material, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they could draw from source material and
Because
not
that's not I'm the writer and I hate Star Wars and I didn't write all that stuff previously and I'm not going to pull from somebody else's. That's like cheating.
that's That's the problem, and I don't want to switch subjects too much, but that's how I felt after I watched Daredevil last week. They get
So I'm
people
not
who
going to
don't
pull
like
from that.
they don't
I'm going
like
to write my
comic
own
books,
lane.
and that's the problem. I think that's the problem. Like
Is it the problem or is that the method?
It can't, as you always like to say, it can both things can be
They
true.
can be true. They both things can be true. They both can be true. I'm asking though, but today, do they see it as a problem?
Maybe. I mean, a lot of these things haven't done quite the numbers that they've been predicting to do. You would think if they want to get the
I
Fed
don't
back,
think they care.
they may not. I don't know.
I don't think they
You
care.
would have more
That
inside
that
track on
theme
that.
park, that theme
But
park is banging.
yeah,
They don't care.
but I don't want to come down on this already, right? It was literally just announced today, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
Well,
it a
my
shot.
thing is they put Ryan Gosling in because people want Ryan Gosling in Star Wars.
Why is that? That's cute.
I have no idea
Why is
because
Ryan
he's
got?
handsome and white. Give me another reason.
I
Give
don't
me another
know.
reason.
I honestly don't know. Like, and
We're not
honestly,
saying Ryan Gosling has really great acting chops,
and
and
honestly, I
he's
don't think
and
I'd
he's
ever heard
best
of
at
this.
comedy.
Yeah,
Maybe this is a comedy movie. Maybe this is their attempt at Deadpoolish, and Gosling is the Starfighter that's Deadpoolish.
yeah.
Rodney, what do you think, Rodney? What do you think?
Honestly, had you heard that people wanted? Because I heard it today that people have been wanting Ryan Gosling to do a Star Wars movie since.
Yes.
I'd never heard
Yes.
that.
It's usually the incel internet wants Ryan Gosling to do Star Wars.
Well, I would say it. Yeah, I mean there is. I don't know.
It's
I
the incels.
no, because he's a big star. I
But
mean,
why pick him?
he's a big star. So I
But why
think what they're
Star
trying
Wars?
to do is they're trying to bring bigger names or just trying to tap into, like, I mean, the reason why they picked up Sean Levy because he did Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
So they're trying to tap into more of an established, some established bona fides. Right. So you have this genuine leading box office guy and the director, and also a leading man in Star Wars. Whereas, most of it's like all the sequels were all like no names, right?
Then they should get
And
The
Why?
Rock then.
I'm about to say why him over why Ryan Gosling over
Get The
the
Rock.
other.
He's under Disney contract.
Yeah, I was like, let's get Leo. Let's get Leo.
well,
Let's
Let's
get
get Jack
Leo.
Black.
Right? Like I just it seemed really random to me that it was like,
Let's get Denzel Washington.
right,
I don't even want Denzel in Star Wars.
well, that's what I'm saying. We can get the Rock.
He's
Tom
Mace Windu's
Cruise.
uncle.
Let's get
and
them
I
all.
guess I don't know. I mean, okay. Again, I really enjoyed him in Blade Runner 2049. And there's other things that he's done that are pretty good. So if I don't know, maybe he's playing sort of a scoundrel type of character, but I don't think
That
he's
may
gonna
be good. That may be
legit.
good.
He's probably not
I
gonna
don't
be
dislike Ryan Gosling. I don't want to make it seem like
I don't. I like
see,
Ryan Gosling too.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
like,
see, but
Star
but see here, I'm also the fact too of like, what Randy was saying. We gotta give it a chance. But
Yeah,
I
do we?
understand.
Do we?
I
Yeah,
understand,
we
Chuck.
gotta give it a
You
chance.
don't want to.
Do we have to give it a chance?
There's-
we should give it a
There's
chance.
Do
there's
we?
millions of other people that are.
I'll
gonna
let
give
y'all
it a
give it a
chance.
chance.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to give it a chance. I'm
Oh
saying
no, absolutely
the-
not.
There's millions
Absolutely
of
not.
other people that were going to give it a chance.
It's literally just been announced today. Like we should give it a chance.
Let it be known on Beyonce's internet. When we come back to this point, I'm gonna be like, we gave it a chance.
How
Because
how
y'all
about
said the
this?
same thing
How about this? Because
about the last trilogy, and we gave it a chance. And all of us were like,
Man, stop.
we watched Rey become a Skywalker because she said she wanted to be one.
all right, how about this? Because
Uh-huh.
you don't want to give it a
Uh-huh.
chance.
No, no.
Let's
Because they
skip to
have
the.
failed us over and over
Let's
again.
skip all Star Wars tonight, and let's just go to
No,
other.
no, let's do Star Wars.
Let's go to the
Gotta
other.
talk about Star Wars.
Let's
do Star
let's go
Wars.
to the other stuff. And we're not gonna if you're not gonna give it a chance, we can go to the other news stuff.
No,
We
no,
gotta
there's other
talk
Star
about it
Wars
though.
stuff on here. There's the Mandalorian Grogu. I'm willing to give that a chance. I'm excited about that movie.
Yeah, we gotta give it a
I'm
chance.
excited about
We gotta
Mandalorian,
talk about it, but
Mandalorian
that's like
Grogu.
again, we should
I'm
give it a chance.
asking why you giving me a Starfighter movie, first of all.
But I
And
mean,
why is it after?
the
What's that?
galaxy is going to have problems.
It is, but I don't need a Starfighter movie. I want to see if there's any Force users. The first thing you give
You
me
don't
after
know if
Ray,
it's going to be Force users or not. They literally just announced
what are
it.
you talking about? Ahsoka's in another galaxy, and she has Sabine with her, and
We're
there's
not talking
Ezra
Well,
about
still
the
that. We're
Ray, the
talking
Ray
alive.
about this
movie,
movie.
the Ray movie supposedly like she's starting up a Jedi Academy or something like that
Yes,
again.
give me that. Give me
So
that first.
they're doing
But we
that.
don't know
So
what the premise of this movie is
he
yet.
did say there was just a see I saw it earlier. Like I said, Star Wars, celebrations happening literally right now. Day 2 is streaming right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Japan with all the time differences and all that stuff, right? So it's basically Saturday morning there. So this is their day 2 of celebration.
Yep.
And I did see a quote from Filoni saying that they looks like they're trying to do more standalone movies, and then touching on different things, different parts of the universe. So it doesn't have as much. Yeah.
Oh, they see what Marvel messed up. That's what that is.
So
They
so
like,
yeah,
nah.
like
Yeah, they
I
like
don't
it's
know.
hard to
I
connect
mean,
all
there's
this.
obviously if there's anything that we know, I mean, their film slate has suffered. They haven't even had a movie
Oh,
since
they haven't?
when? I don't
yeah.
even know
Oh,
when the
yeah.
last movie. So this is probably their version of just like, okay, let's go for the surest thing they think of, right? Okay, let's go for a surefire director that we know,
Yes.
and then let's go for a surefire box office guy,
Not a
Only thing I'll say,
Starfighter.
the only thing I'll push back on that a little bit is they literally had the biggest director for the trilogy, for at least for 2 of the 3 movies. They had J.J. Abrams. You don't get more established than J.J. Abrams.
I don't know, man. Now that I think about it, it's like if you look back on it, it's like at the time it was good because he rebooted Star Trek.
Yeah.
He was the biggest director at the
but
time.
He was the
know
biggest
what?
at the time. We
I
just
don't
saying
know
that
if he was
because
the
of how it was.
biggest director.
biggest.
He was one
I
of
don't
the
know if he was the biggest director.
let me
at
put
the
it.
time.
You don't
Only
get
person up
bigger.
against him was James Cameron.
Yeah, you don't
James
get
Cameron's not going to
bigger.
do a Star Wars
I
movie.
mean, Chris Nolan's bigger than.
No, he wasn't bigger than J.J. Abrams at the time.
Not at the
Are you
time.
kidding me?
Yeah, J.J.
Oh my God,
Abrams.
Christopher Nolan is bigger than J.J. Abrams every time.
Say that you like him better,
Every
but
time.
not bigger at the time when it was first
wait.
announced that J.J. Abrams would be heading Star Wars. Everybody was like,
Yes, he saved Star Trek.
yeah. Everybody was. Nobody was like, well, I'm not sure about. Matter of fact, it took away from Star Trek because it was so big that J.J. Abrams was going to be doing Star Wars. Yeah. And I'm not saying he's the big, I'm saying there was nobody bigger. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
And Christopher Nolan wouldn't do one.
That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I do agree. We got to give it a chance, or
I mean,
I'm going to give it a chance.
He's done a Mission Impossible. J.J. Abrams did a
Right.
Mission Impossible. He did Star Trek. He did Cloverfield. What else he do?
His
Let's
name
go through
attached to Lost. I mean, he was
Lost
huge.
Friends. He was huge.
Yeah, he had that huge deal
Super
with
8.
Warner Brothers. Yeah, he was coming off. He was coming off super highs before when it was announced he was going to do Star Wars.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is all speculation on my part. So I mean, but again, I'm gonna give it a chance.
I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving it a chance. I'm always excited about a new Star Wars project.
I'm sorry about the other projects. Mandalorian versus and Grogu sounds exciting.
Yeah, you know,
I wonder what they're gonna do with that and how they're gonna end up with Grogu.
Oh, who knows? I don't know. Is this so? Does this kind of complete the entire series with the Mandalorian?
Does it? I don't
I don't
think
know.
so.
That's what I'm asking.
I think it does. I think that's close to Mandalorian. That's exciting.
Yeah,
But I'm like, do I want a Starfighter movie? I want space wizards.
I always want Space Wizards, but we didn't get Space Wizards in Andor, and Andor is absolutely great.
Yeah, but Andor is based on something we already established. They got new writers writing this.
You just
Andor's
gonna
an
make this tough.
established
You're
story.
gonna
We
make
know
this
that.
tough, ain't you? You're gonna make this
We know
tough.
that's an established story. We know what happens in Andor.
Hey, that don't mean anything. You know what happened, and you don't like. Why I
Mm,
like it, you don't like what you would call it.
but
Rogue One, and we know what happened there.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah,
That's,
I say
but
we gotta give it a shot.
Andor did well. I'm excited about Maul and Shadow Lord. I'm excited about the Maul project.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. That's interesting to me because we know what happens to Maul.
But we don't know where he came from.
Uh, uh, we've not seen it in the movies. There is a book,
Yeah.
and if you, I read his book, and I read Dark Plagueis book, and it touches on how Palpatine actually found him.
Mm.
Now I
But
don't know.
this is Maul on the hunt for an apprentice.
Yeah. So I don't know how much it'll I don't know how much it they will stick with the source material for that, and it doesn't go into that. But I'm excited to see it too. I want to see how
Yeah.
we get to
After
where,
Savage Opress gets killed
yeah.
in Palpatine and Maul, I'm curious. Because
And
what happens between him and him coming face to face with Ahsoka again.
yeah, and we know that from, well, he rebuilt his crime syndicate. We know that
Hmm.
from the end of Solo.
Hmm.
And we know how he goes out. So
Hmm.
I guess we're filling in all the cut. Unless they're gonna retcon how he dies. I hope they
And
don't do
Solo.
that. Well, he dies in which, spoiler alert. Hopefully everybody's seen it by now.
Hmm.
In Rebels,
Hmm.
Maul dies,
Hmm.
and I hope they don't retcon that.
No, the way he died in Rebels was great.
It was great. It was one of my favorite. It was one of my
That's
favorites.
how you die on your sword.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite fight scenes ever.
And you know, they got to fix all this stuff. So
The
maybe
only one that
one
I
maybe
ever thought
more
was
this year.
better was Maul, and when he fought whatchamacallit Palpatine in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I guess my biggest issue with this movie, this Starfighter movie, is just a holdover movie till they figure out things. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a holdover movie.
And it could be because maybe to Rodney's point, these are standalone movies now.
Yeah, they're standalone movies they're like filler movies.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just not even really connected, like they don't push the needle at all.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And I guess we've got to figure out what to do post the Star Wars saga, because isn't the Star Wars saga, for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes, done?
I'd rather have a Starfighter movie in the middle of like the first trilogy. Like everything that's in the first trilogy is going on besides these starfighters that are trying to do things, and let those be the starfighters that end up at the end with Luke trying to take down the Death Star.
Yeah,
End up
but maybe
dying.
this one just
That'd have
isn't.
been dope.
Let's just say maybe this one isn't necessarily connected with
It
it.
isn't. It says it's not connected.
Yeah, so we're,
So I'm
we're
like,
making a move.
it
And
just
it's been a
reeks of
while, man. We
filler
haven't had a
movie.
Star Wars movie since the last trilogy.
Yep. And I
And
say it
I'm
comes in 2027, so we'll
and I'm
see.
looking forward to seeing Star Wars back in movie theaters again. I love Star Wars. I mean, it's my favorite franchise. And I think it's about time for it to come back to the movie theaters. And I don't need you dampening all on it.
I've been in the Discord, man. I've been in the blogs.
Oh
I've been
God.
in the
It's
blogs.
the internet.
I've been in the internet, the internet, the internet, the internet.
No, let's give it a shot, man. Starfire could turn out to be the greatest thing ever. But I am curious about the whole Ryan.
Y'all said the same thing about the last trilogy.
Everybody was excited for the last trilogy. Don't tell me you wasn't excited for the last trilogy.
Told you, man. Clone the animated world is where I'm at. I live in their animated universe. I'm a big proponent of it.
So at the time, because at the time I don't even was Rebels out before the last.
Yeah, yeah. Rebels is out.
Okay, it might have been, and I'm not saying it
I
wasn't.
like the first movie of the trilogy a little bit. I was like, oh,
No,
this
it
is
was
okay.
terrible. It was just a remake of episode.
I was okay with that. I was content
I
because that's what they were doing. They're playing homage to it.
Nah, I ain't like it. I ain't like it. I ain't like it at all.
Okay,
Like
okay.
they gave us the whole story. Like it's the same story with a remix. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
I was like, they're paying
But
homage to the original trilogy. They're
but
gonna deviate now. They didn't do that. It came
but
two directors fighting each other.
that was weird. That was weird.
Two directors fighting each other.
Yeah.
You
Who
saw them
didn't like
fight
it?
on screen.
Who didn't like each other to
Who
begin
didn't like
with?
each other to begin with.
I
Yep,
was interested, and it
yep.
suffered.
It was like
Uh,
they had film school beef. That's what it felt like. Like they didn't like each other from film school. Like fuck that dude. Excuse my French.
but nah, man, it's good to get Star Wars back on the big screen.
Yeah, it's good to
So,
have it on the big screen, but I'm not going. I don't want to accept anything on the big screen, and this feels like a filler movie.
and Grogu and the Mandalorian seems
Grogu.
amazing. Grogu and the Mandalorian seems amazing.
It does seem amazing. It's a
And
good way to close
Filoni's
the
back
movie.
in this one,
Yes. So
so
this is exciting.
I,
That's
I,
exciting.
I'm
When I heard
excited.
that, I was like, okay, they're really going to do the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And
Yep.
I hope it if it is the end, I hope it gives the Mandalorian the ending that it deserves.
I hope so too. And I'm really excited about Maul Shadow Lord.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be cool
I
too.
think that's gonna be dope. I
Yeah.
halfway said they should have made it live action.
I'm all right with it being animated.
I'm okay with it being animated. I prefer the animated universe,
Yeah.
but I would have liked to see it if it was live action though. I
Yes.
like live action Maul. I like how he looks live action.
Well, we didn't get a lot of more live action. We
We
only saw
didn't,
for about
but I like how
what?
he looks. So that's why I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have Maul back.
Okay, yeah. Because really, what did we see more? What about 10 minutes?
Maybe,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe on screen 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that was it. So most of our familiarity with Maul has all come through the animated universe.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, I want to see it. What else is
I'm
on
going to
Netflix?
watch the movie. I'm going to watch it. They're gonna get my money.
I just need you to go in there with some optimism.
No, no. Star Wars
I
hasn't earned that. They haven't earned that. They have lost that. No, they have beat
or
me up
at the
enough
very
times.
minimum, the
They have
very
beat me up
minimum,
enough times. You can
at
have
the
that.
at the very minimum, come in there open minded. You don't have to be
I'm open minded
optimistic.
for a successful movie. I want to say I was wrong. I will come back on the. I will come back on Darth
I
Vader's internet and
I know you better than that. You,
Randy and Rodney, y'all were correct.
you go come up with something.
I will eat my own mess.
Jesus Christ.
I will eat my own mess.
I
Y'all
don't
were
even have
right. That movie was freaking amazing.
Jesus Christ.
It was one of the best things I've ever seen in cinematic history. You know what I'm saying? I put it up there with the Matrix 1 movie. That's what I want to do. That's what I want. That's what I really want. But
What else is coming?
I just doubt it. I just doubt it's gonna happen.
What else is coming out?
Toys?
Now I'm talking about what else, what other movies do they have planned?
That's it. They have a host, like they have
I
another
thought they had like
trilogy.
8 of them.
They have another trilogy. Hold on, let me pull up the Star Wars. Let me pull
Okay.
it up. Let me pull it up.
So they have another trilogy that's coming. Has
Yep.
that been confirmed? Is that
Yep.
so? This does I have to assume follow Ray,
It is following Ray.
her building the Jedi Temple.
I guess. I don't know how she builds a Jedi temple. She don't know any intentions.
She don't know
But what do
what.
I know? What do I know? What do I
Technically,
know?
Luke didn't know anything either. He had to
I
learn.
know it. I know it. I know it.
Because Luke didn't, we'd like to think about it, but Luke didn't get a lot of training between episodes 2 and 3. He didn't get a lot of
He
training.
didn't. He didn't. Unfortunately, he didn't.
Yeah. So, she'll be all right. She's the Palpatine.
You are a mess. You are a
She'll
mess.
figure it out. She's a
You are a
Palpatine,
mess.
a hyphen Skywalker.
That's it. That's only three major movie announcements they
Oh,
made.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then okay. And then just the mall animated show.
I mean, them all animated show. Yep.
Okay. All right. So
Hmm.
I wonder if they're gonna announce anything else because it's going on right now. I wonder if they're gonna have any other announcements.
Maybe, maybe not.
Did they announce Ahsoka
They have a
2
new
or
trailer for
anything?
Star Wars Outlaws: A Pirate Fortune, the video game.
Okay. That ain't necessarily my wheelhouse, but yeah.
Yeah. They got Light and Magic Season 2 revealed. Yep. They got Star Wars Young Jedi Adventure Season 3 coming. The kids movie. It's like a Muppet
It's
Babies.
okay. The shorts. No, the show. Yeah,
The show. Like
yeah, the
Muppet
show.
Babies.
Yeah, it was cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was cool. I wish they would do another season of Tales of the Jedi. I thought Tales of the Jedi was really good.
I think that was good too.
Yeah,
Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Jedi. They got other orders they can do shows on.
yeah. Another season
Tales of
of Vision.
Bendu.
Huh?
Bendu.
I would love a series on Bendu.
Yeah. I
That's
would
what I
love a
was
movie
talking
on
about.
Bendu.
Huh?
I would love a movie on Bendu.
I would love
I
a
don't think
movie.
I don't think people that only follow the cinematic universe know Bendu even exists.
Mm-mm.
They
I would
don't even know
imagine.
Bendu
Why
exists.
would they? Because it was only in Rebels.
It was also in Clone Wars. He was also in Clone Wars. Bendu
Bendu
is
was
in
in.
Clone Wars. Yeah, Bendu's in Clone Wars. Bendu's also in Clone Wars.
I don't
Yeah.
remember Bendu in
Yeah, he's
Clone
in Clone
Wars.
Wars.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember Bendu in
Yeah,
Clone Wars.
Bendu's in Clone
I
Wars.
remember him in Rebels.
He's in Rebels. He's in Clone Wars though too.
I guess I believe you, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But there's lots of source material out there,
You
material
got
from the
tons
world
of it.
that they could use.
And considering J.J. Abrams deleted all that in canon, they can repurpose all those
Yeah, they can.
stories
They can.
and repurpose all those stories.
Yep.
That's why I'm like Starfighter after the fall of the Jedi. What? The rise of the
Stop it.
Skywalker after the rise of the Skywalker.
Stop it.
We saw Rey go back to Tatooine and declare herself a Skywalker.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, it's
Stop it.
weird.
It's just announced. Give it a shot. Again.
I don't.
I say you have to be optimistic. I'm just saying have an open mind.
I do have an open mind. I have an open mind taking in all the data that I know of that what happened afterwards, and I'm like, that's weird.
But that's the thing. It's 5 years. We don't know where the galaxy is
We
five
had no.
years.
All we know is Sabine and Ahsoka could be back by the end,
Yeah, they could be.
and they could have Hera. Hera could be 100 years old, and she could be flying the ship
Uh, she wouldn't be that
with
old.
her son.
Yeah, we don't know what role
Yeah,
Jason.
Jason. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe he's a starfighter and he's with Ryan Gosling. Maybe he is Ryan Gosling.
maybe,
Maybe he is Ryan Gosling.
maybe. It's lots of things, right? We don't know any. They
You know,
literally just again. They
all I
literally
want to
just
know
announced
is
today.
if they're gonna bring back what's his name, Bodeo's character.
Ooh.
What's his name? Finn's character. They're gonna
Oh,
show Finn and Finn's mopping the floors of
then
the
I don't think John Bodega is ever coming back to
I
Star
don't
Wars
think he's coming back. I
ever,
don't think he's
and I
coming
don't think
back.
they're going to let him come back because uh he made it very clear he
Mhm.
don't mess with Star Wars like that.
Yeah, I mean the we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. So, episode. I mean, the fact they did announce that potentially a new trilogy, from my
Yeah,
understanding.
they did have a new trilogy.
Yeah.
They did
So,
announce a new trilogy.
yeah.
And then it
So,
picks up where Ray picks up, so I don't know what's gonna go have.
yeah.
I
And
think she should create a whole new order, just all brand new. Not Jedi, not Sith. She just creates her own order.
they could.
That
It's
would be awesome.
there are a lot of stories or a lot of different directions where it could go.
Could go. The issue is Disney gonna go that way. Or Star Wars if Lucas is gonna go that
These
way.
films.
Because if Lucas is bold enough to go that way.
That
I
I
think
hope.
that's it. I think that's my biggest
Well,
problem is like nobody's taking bold bets.
I think that was part of the reason you elevated Filoni
Yeah, to take bold bets. Yeah,
to a
he's a
person.
great storyteller.
Yeah, a person who loves and is entrenched in the universe. And I think having him in charge, I think it gives them the courage to take bolder chances with the franchise,
Mm-hmm. Because he
especially
took a
the
lot of
movie.
bold chances with the animated series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially with the
Every time
movie.
they come out, the Bad Batch was a bold attempt
Yeah,
to do something new.
right.
You
And it
know?
didn't have a lot of Force users in it either,
Mm-mm,
or a lot of
no,
Jedi
no,
or Sith in it either. And it
no.
was great.
It was they took a bold chance with it.
Yeah.
But I
Tales of
think
the
he cares
Jedi, he did
about.
that with the shorts. Yeah.
Mhm.
He didn't do the
I
Mandalorian.
I think he feels more comfortable with animated stuff though.
Well, that's his wheelhouse, but
It
that's
is
not to
as
say
well.
he can't do that's not to say he can't do full features. And it's not to say that he didn't want to do live action versions. It's just he started with animation.
Yeah. Well, he's always been an animator, right? He knows that world very, very well.
Yeah, but that could have just been the gateway to that, like,
Yeah.
you know.
But since he's taken over, the feature films haven't been that great
Well, we haven't had any since he's taken over
from him.
from
But
him.
under his tutelage though.
But he like J.J. Abrams was running all the live action films. He was in charge of all, well, at least the trilogy, and
Hmm.
Filoni didn't have anything to do with
He had
what's
Solo. He did something when
nah, he didn't
Solo
have
hit.
anything to do with
I thought
those.
Solo
Okay.
was his.
Huh?
I thought
Mm-mm,
Solo was his.
mm-mm. He
Okay.
had nothing to
A
do with
Rogue
those.
One.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with Rogue One or Solo. He was still with the animation thing. Now he is kind of, I don't want to necessarily say
He's
he,
had the shows.
yeah, he had the shows.
Yeah.
And I don't want to necessarily say he's Kevin Feige, but like he's kind of been his role has been expanded.
Yeah. Yeah. Shows are hard. Well,
Yeah.
he's good with shows.
He's good with shows.
That's his bread and
So
butter.
so I'm saying this is now his
Yeah.
opportunity to go into live action movies. And the first one he's going to do it with
Yeah.
is The Mandalorian.
Yeah. I think that one would be fine.
So
I'm not worried about that property at all.
Ahsoka
I
was the
actually,
first live action show that he did, though. That was like
yeah.
first live action show, which, whatever.
So whatever. It's middle of the road.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I guess both of these franchises need home runs.
I think that's what Star Wars needs is a live action home run. And
They do.
again,
They do.
it's been about 10 years since it's been a minute since Star Wars had a movie at the theater.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've been working on projects and they just haven't come to
Yeah.
fruition yet.
So
Projects are hard. They're
yeah,
hard. This is very hard.
they need something big. And I mean, to Rodney's point earlier, that's probably why they got Ryan Gosling, because Ryan Gosling
He's the
he's a
man,
movie
man.
star.
He is a
He's a
movie
movie star.
star. He is a
Yeah.
movie star. It's just so
So
funny.
yeah, I just thought it was interesting that the people wanted him. I just didn't know
Yeah. Yeah.
why they didn't what made Ryan so special? Like why not The Rock? Why not Tom Cruise? Like why not anybody else? That's all I was just curious about.
Tom Cruise would be interesting.
Oh, God, I'm joking. Please don't put Tom
Hey,
Cruise in Star Wars.
Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves, that
God.
would be interesting.
Oh God. Wow. So Tom
Okay.
Cruise could really think he's flying a BF fighter. He wants a real one.
Man, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting.
I
Make him
say
a Sith Lord, put on the makeup,
I say put Will Smith in it. Just
let
put
him go
Will Smith.
ham.
Put
Damn.
Will Smith in Star Wars.
He's not a good enough actor.
Well, you gotta be a great actor to be in Star Wars. Is that what we said?
I think that's what Ryan Gosling's a better actor than Will Smith.
Yeah, I ain't said he's not. But
Yeah.
since we going for name recognition, I say put Will Smith in it.
Wow.
Mm.
Mhm.
Since the internet want to start
Well,
stuff,
Will Smith does want to be in the Star Wars movie.
I'm saying I'm starting a campaign. Will Smith in Star Wars.
I'm rolling my head at that.
You're a hater. Well, we know you're a hater. You're hating on the project before it even got started.
It's in pre-production.
Keanu just got announced as the villain in the Weezer's mockumentary. I don't know what that is.
You know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I am always
And the
pulling for.
Weezer mockumentary. Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds awesome.
yeah.
You
I'm
know
just
who
saying.
Weezer is? The rock group.
I know who Weezer is.
Yeah, and so they have a mockumentary
Okay,
about them.
okay. Again, I'm always pulling for the success of Star Wars. Always.
I hope they succeed, but I have little faith.
It is. It is
I'm
the
one of little faith.
unlike you, Star Wars
I know
real
it. I
is
know it.
really no. I'm just gonna
I'm a
say it's
pessimist.
no. I'm not saying pessimist. I'm saying unlike your allegations, Star Wars really is the
I
great
made no
franchise.
allegations. I
No,
said
I'm not. I'm not talking about
it's
your Star Wars allegations. I'm talking about your allegations on the best franchise ever. Unlike your allegations, Star Wars literally is the greatest franchise ever.
you say so. You
Yeah, I
say
know Weezer from the late '90s. Yeah, I know Weezer. I
if you
just when
say
you said when
so.
I read it, I was like, "What are we talking about?" Okay, yeah.
If you
Well,
say so. If you say so.
Star Wars is the greatest franchise ever.
If you say so. I think they have a lot of great things in Star Wars.
It's the greatest.
But when I look at the movies, though, I think 3 out of 9 movies is not a great shoot for them. They have to own what they are,
Yeah, they do,
and sometimes they own it, and sometimes they don't.
and that's why I think having Filoni in there, I
Hopefully,
think,
that'll make a difference
yeah, I
because
think
all his animated properties are great. They're amazing.
right, and I think he gets it.
Even the kid properties of his animated properties are dope. Like they own Star Wars. I didn't have a problem with the Goonies Star Wars. I knew where it sat in that universe. It made sense. And I enjoyed the creature shop. But all y'all had issues with it. I didn't have issues with it. But I watched the Ewok movies and I understand where they are too. The Ewok. But all y'all had issues with it. I didn't have issues with it.
I'm not saying Fast and Furious is a better hit rate than Star Wars. Default.
They do have a better hit rate than Star Wars. They do have a better hit rate. And it's crazy. That should never be the case. Star Wars should be the greatest franchise of all
It
time.
is. It is the greatest franchise ever. Ever.
The Funk just gave you the facts.
Ever, man. The greatest ever.
You're
There's
Star
no
Wars MAGA right now.
the lightsaber is the coolest weapon and like
It
all of
is the coolest.
fandom.
No, it used to be the coolest weapon till Sabine got stabbed and lived. It was the coolest weapon. Let's pretend like don't pretend like that didn't happen. It was the coolest weapon ever formed on planet Earth. Then we watched somebody get stabbed and was healed the next day.
And I was
They don't even have that type of technology in Star Wars.
they do.
People healed the next day
I
from a
don't know.
lightsaber.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody that ever got stabbed with a
Nah,
lightsaber.
Randy. Don't
Yeah.
say they do when they don't.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody that ever got stabbed with a lightsaber that healed the
No,
next.
we haven't seen anybody get stabbed with a lightsaber and live. And
Mm,
live. That's new.
mm, Star Wars is the greatest, man. And then I would probably say Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
I nominate Mission Impossible, Lord of the Wings. I think Star Wars should be I think Star Wars should be as good as not better than Lord of the Rings. I
Yeah,
watched Lord of the Rings the other day and I thought it was amazing.
yeah. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, amazing.
Yeah,
More Harry Potter than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings didn't have as many movies because it's based on the books. They extended it
yeah,
out to 2 movies each.
yeah.
But still,
Yeah. All the Harry
Harry
Potter,
Potter is a good
all the
movie
Harry
no matter
Potter
what.
movies are good too. All of
Yeah,
them.
like Star Wars should be in contending.
Yeah.
Like when my nieces or nephews can come to me, and it's like Harry Potter is better than Star Wars. I can't actually argue with them about it, and I want to, and I really want to argue with them in the face about that. I can't argue with them. It's like saying the Pistons are the best basketball team ever.
The
I
best
can't
franchise ever.
you can't say that. That's not true.
89, the 89, the 89, 89,
You name
90
one year.
championship
You
run.
name one
Is it
year. The
the
best
89,
franchise ever.
the 89 and the
No,
90
no,
championship
no,
runs? We
no.
beat the Lakers, the
Harry Potter is
Celtics.
like the Lakers. Harry Potter's like the Lakers. Those movies are still good.
Made
The
Magic
first
retire.
one started off
Made
weak.
Magic retire.
What do you like I said?
The franchise went into free fall after that.
Honestly,
The
Star
Kobe and
Trek.
Shaq.
Star Trek. Star
I
Trek may
don't
be a better
necessarily think
franchise.
Star Trek movies are great though.
They
I
are good.
I think they're just okay. I
It's
think
every
this.
other Star Trek. It's every odd Star Trek is really good.
Yeah, I've never
These
thought that
ones are
the movies
filler.
were great. I thought the movies were okay.
Oh, the funk came in hard. You including Hobbit and Fantastic Beasts in those respective franchises? They're just expanded universes. I don't consider them into franchises.
They are a part of it though. They are a part
They
of
are
it.
part of it. So is Rogue One and Solo. I'm gonna throw that in there. So are those Star Wars TV shows like Boba Fett.
See, when I think of Star Wars, I do think of all of those things.
Yeah.
I think of
I was
all
gonna
the
say
animated
complete
properties.
franchises. Yes, we throw Fantastic Beast in there, and yes, we will throw. And still, Fantastic Beast. There's only two
But
movies. And only one of them is really bad. The other one's alright.
Fantastic Beasts isn't necessarily it's in the Harry Potter universe. It doesn't have a lot of connection. It's
We
a
talking about
prequel.
Dumbledore's in
It's,
it.
it's a prequel. It's a prequel. No, it's a prequel.
Dumbledore's in it. It's connected.
I know I'm saying it's connected and it's a
Yeah,
prequel because yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it's how
yeah.
Dumbledore rises to fame.
Now, Star Trek now, by leaning on the shows, well, just discussing with Canon, for example, just with Canon. When I leaning on the shows, he's like, I think Star Trek movies are weak sauce. And I'm like, well, you have to go beyond the movies, look at these shows. And
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
view the
think
Star
the
Wars
movies are good
movies.
or great. Great, I should
Yeah,
say.
they're not great. Yeah. Because Canon was like, Avatar is better than Star Wars. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said they look better, they're more fun, blah 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 blah.
Well, that's
See, that's
that's
hard.
no, that's fair for him.
Yes,
That's fair for him. Like Star Wars came out in
yes.
1977. We're talking about a 16-year-old
But to
kid.
him, he's like, I got the new trilogies and you got the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for him, it doesn't hold up.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I guess somebody has to speak for these people.
No, and that's true. That's true.
Somebody has
Like
to speak for them.
if I were a 15-year-old
He
kid,
was like Transformers is a better
right,
franchise for him.
right. Absolutely.
He's like Fast and Furious is better.
Yeah,
He's
if
like,
I were 15 years old and you're telling me the
yeah.
best movies that came out in 1977, I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, he doesn't mind the original trilogy. He said, but he wasn't there when it was brand new,
But
when it was
again,
fresh.
that no, what I'm saying is the look of Star Wars cannot compare it to what he would
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at
What
when he
he's
looks
looking
at
at.
Avatar
Yes, yeah, not at
or
all,
Transformers.
not at all. And
Like
for him, he thinks the new movie should be like Avatar. It should
right.
feel like Avatar.
And it should. No, they should. They should. They should
You know
have
what I'm
that
saying?
level
They
of
should feel
impact.
like John Wick to him.
Yeah, they should have that level of impact on this generation.
Yeah, and he doesn't feel like he doesn't feel that at all.
Yeah. And that's fair.
That's, that's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
said, for you old people,
Right.
y'all used to trash. So y'all
Hey,
used when people were using models and playthings and miniatures and stuff. He's like, I get it. I get it. But he was like, I could have made something better than Star Wars on my own. And I'm like, no, you couldn't have. He says, have you seen some of the stuff these kids are making out here? We're making out here. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. Y'all make crazy Dragon Ball videos all day long. And they have a whole gamut
and,
of new
and,
stuff.
and again, Star Wars does not resonate with young people the way it
It
did
doesn't.
when we were
It
young.
doesn't. It
That's why I
doesn't.
was saying, and I don't think it'll be extended to it, but I was like, when we were talking about Harry Potter earlier this week, I said first we've got to take into account is this generation going to care about Harry Potter the same way we
For
did?
him, Harry Potter's okay. He's like,
Right,
it's
that's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like, will they care about it the way
Nah,
that like the previous generations
nah,
did?
because it's not new to them.
Yeah. And it's not new to them
It's not
because
theirs.
like they've grown up on anime. They've grown up on Jujutsu
Yeah.
Kaisen. They've grown up on all these great looking properties and it's probably like maybe
Yeah.
it's not the same sense of wonderment that Harry
I,
Potter could
I
create.
I think I would be more excited if they said, "Okay, we got Ryan Gosling. We're gonna do an Omega movie." And they don't tell us who Omega is. We have no idea who she's gonna be.
Well, I mean, there's going to be things that we don't know. Again,
Yeah, yeah.
they just
They
announced
called it Starfighters. I think that's what threw me off. It was like, do we need a Starfighters movie?
it. I'm excited about it.
I like the Starfighter, but I
Star
think
Wars
Tie
is
Fighters
back.
more.
Star Wars is back in the movie theaters, and I think that's something to celebrate.
I'm all about that. I'm all about that. I just want them to be back with a really strong property.
I do too.
I'm not okay with them just to be back. I want them to be back with something strong. To be
Yeah, I
like,
want them.
yes, see you
Yeah.
little munchkins, y'all don't know shit. I want to be able to say that.
Yeah, I want to too. Solo was terrible. Solo was might have been the worst prop other than like the Christmas special. It might have been the worst ever.
Worse than Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's worse than Boba Fett.
Wow.
It's worse than Boba Fett. Solo
I
was
didn't
worse.
see it in theaters. I saw it here.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to the theater. I wasn't going to the theaters to see Solo. Absolutely not. And I'm
And
glad.
for a franchise that has so many opportunities to make gold,
Agreed. Agreed. There are
they
opportunities
stuck
out
at
there, but like,
silver.
hopefully, I mean, we've got a new set of
They're
filmmakers
silver and bronze. They're
and
silver and bronze.
and visionaries out there, and I think they can add some value.
And
I think they can add value.
especially the way Marvel came in and knocked down the buildings.
Well, I mean, that might Marvel probably is the best franchise.
Marvel knocked down the
Yeah,
buildings.
they did. They did.
Like they created 22 pieces of magic,
Yeah, and weaved it all together and
weaved it
stuck the
all
damn
together,
and
and even
stuck
stuck a
the
show called Agents of Shield into it.
yeah and
So they
stuck the
they and
landing.
and then they had a bunch of breakout shows that
Yeah,
nobody watched, like Legion and all those shows. Those shows were good.
yeah, that damn
They just
Marvel
weren't cinematic level good. They were low level Marvel shows that fit in the universe.
and
So
that damn end game stuck the landing. Oh
yeah,
God,
it's hard. It's hard. It's hard
it
on.
stuck the landing.
It's
So
hard.
the best franchise is Marvel. I think we
Yeah,
can say that. 22 movies over what a
crushed it.
12-year period.
And Marvel came out hard the second half. Their first up the bats was Shang-Chi, and it was great.
Yeah. Shang-Chi's been the only one that's been good though.
Yeah, but it came out hard.
Yeah.
And for Star Wars not to pick up that, and Star Wars has more source material than anybody.
And they got more source material than Marvel. Marvel got 70 years.
Yeah,
Got yeah,
besides Marvel, but
yeah.
they have a ton of source material.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
They
Agreed.
have books, novels, they have comic
Comic books. Yeah,
books.
they got all
Yeah.
kind. They got lots of great source
Marvel
material.
can't reach Marvel's retreaded the same story like 80 million times.
Yeah.
Star Wars hasn't.
Right.
Marvel has 15 different Spider-Mans, and they're all the same Spider-Man.
At a minimum of 15 different Spider-Man.
Yes, yes.
Like
There's
yeah.
there's there's only like one Luke. There's only one Sabine. There's only one Ezra.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
No, I
tons
agree.
of there's tons. Like Ventress, that's what got me more excited than anything else. The new Ventress property.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that
That
looks
has me
good.
super. That looks really good.
Yeah,
Then
they
they
got
should
the
talk
trailer
about
for that for
that.
a little while.
Yeah.
Did they talk
I would
about
love to
that?
see Ventress in live action. They didn't talk about it yet.
That
See?
that's room for that. That makes me wonder.
Like they had me excited, but the Ventress property.
The Ventures
Oh,
property should have been on the radar, popping that
yeah, the
up.
first thing they announced.
Yeah.
Will come out hard. Then they should have said everything after that's gonna be better than this.
Hmm.
Uh, I think
I
that's
feel
how I
like,
look at. I'm looking at the orchestra and not just the
oh,
piece.
and just the
See,
character of Ventress.
it's amazing.
Oh,
The boss property. That
yeah,
sounds amazing. Those are amazing properties they're coming with.
yeah,
But
man.
maybe they'll lean in on that before the end of the show. You know, wake me up when Marvel gets around to the Patsy Walker, Hetty Wolf teen girl show like Riverdale or Gossip Girl. They're gonna get around to that. I can't wait for them to get around to that because
Riverdale
they're going
was
cross
amazing,
genres.
man.
They're still onto the cross genre stuff, and I'm like, just give me superhero stuff at this point.
Uh,
I mean, Marvel messed themselves up with Marvel with X-Men '97.
X
That
Why?
That
Because the
set a
bar was so
bar so
high.
high. It set a bar so high.
Okay.
Set a bar so high.
Yeah, X-Men '97 is.
And I know y'all don't like it, but I love What If. Because it's superhero stories, small, short
I think what
superhero
if it's
stories.
just okay? I
I
just
think
think
it's
it's
good.
okay.
I think Loki was good.
I just thought it was okay as well.
I like Loki.
I love the
And I
WandaVision.
and
When
I
it first
and it
dropped.
has my mortal enemy in it.
No, Lord, we're not going to even talk about that. I thought WandaVision was great when it first
I thought
dropped.
WandaVision was great too.
Yeah, but
Marvel may be the greatest franchise there is.
I think at least
Yeah.
cinematic version.
Yeah.
The cinematic
Cause Miss
version,
Marvel was amazing.
I think the
I
22.
enjoy She-Hulk. I like it was bold
Yeah,
and it stuck with She-Hulk.
what was that?
I commend it. I
Yeah,
commend it for being
and
She-Hulk.
I'm referring to those first 22 movies. Those first 22 movies. I don't know if we ever gonna see a run like that.
No, we're not going to see another run with them. That's okay.
Yeah,
It's not for us to see another. That was our run. Maybe
yeah.
these kids will see a run like that
Maybe
someday.
I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna start at. Did they get another? They get 12-year, 22 movie run.
People write books every day. I went into the bookstore the other day. They got books with like 18 books to them already. I've never heard of the series in YA
Oh yeah.
section.
Oh, you walk through Barnes and Noble, you be like, Jesus, like
People
all
write
this.
books every day and they're
Yeah,
crushing it. And they're good books. They're not
yeah.
bad. Just know that nobody in Hollywood is bold enough to grab those books
Oh,
and option those books right now.
and the
And
first,
that's part of the problem.
the seven Harry Potter movies, they knocked it out of the park too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was.
They knocked it out the park.
So I think Harry
We've had a
Potter.
lot of good runs. I mean, even the Lord of the Ring movies was a good run. There's been a lot of good runs.
Lord of the Rings did what? 4, 5 movies?
They did six.
The 6, okay.
I think it's six. Rodney, how many movies did Lord of the Rings do? Rodney knows.
Harry
I
Potter.
mean, if you count The Hobbit,
Yeah.
um, there's 3 Hobbits, 3 Lord of the Rings movies. They had that animated one that just came out. They're gonna do the Hunt for Gollum.
Yep.
That's gonna come out, and then I don't want to say that's it.
Yeah,
The
Rings of
Hunt for
Power.
Gollum is
Yeah.
in between,
Rings of
right?
Power.
When he
So
lost
when
the
we
ring.
say franchise, are we limited to just movies, or are we doing the entire
Do the
kind
entire
of
thing. Let's do the entire work. Body of
the,
work.
the entire work?
Hmm.
I think, but at the same time, like I don't know if that's accurate too, because like Rings of Power is done by Amazon, where
Yeah. Yeah.
these, the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, it's technically WB, right? So
Yep.
I get that.
it's
That's
with the
hard
Star
too.
Wars,
Yeah.
it's all Lucasfilm, right?
Yeah,
It's all
Yeah,
I
it's all
get that.
Lucasfilm. Yeah, it's all them.
I agree with that. If we're gonna talk about just the whole thing, then I would have to throw Star Trek in there.
Yeah.
The
That's a good
TV series with Star Trek, we've had amazing TV series in Star Trek.
Strange
Star,
New Worlds is amazing.
yeah, Strange New World.
Lower Decks is amazing.
Yeah, the first Star Trek, New Generation, Deep Space Nine. Yeah,
Yeah, they knocked it
Voyager,
out. They knocked it out.
Voyager. Yeah,
They knocked it out. I'm just
Discovery.
you and Ronnie are right. I need to give this movie a chance. This announcement. I just think it's the wrong. It's the. I guess it is the right announcement, but I knew that Ventress and Voss was there, and I was like, "Won't y'all talk about stuff
That
like
would be great.
that, where there's Force users, because this universe is built on Force users." So tell
I
me,
mean,
we got Ryan Gosling. That's literally how they announced it, and he's a starfighter, and it's like he's Pedro Pascal.
I don't know.
And the starfighter, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put the starfighters at the end of Ray." I was like, "Are starfighters even exciting? Then are they
You
even
can make a lot of
exciting?"
you can make a lot of cool stuff with starfighters.
I mean, you can, but you want them in the middle of the
But
battle with the Empire.
but again, like if we're saying
Empire's not
we
there
want
anymore.
different things, if we want different things, and this is something that's different. We've never had a movie completely from the perspective of a starfighter.
Yes,
So we're
Why
saying
not?
we want different things, then they give us something different, and you're like,
But why would you give me starfighters in the peacetime versus
we
starfighters in the
don't know
middle of
if
a
it's
war?
peacetime. We just know it's 5 years after the falls, after the fall, whatever, the new order. That's all we know.
That's true. That
We don't
is
know
true.
how that. We don't know how it
That's
rebuilt,
true.
and we don't
That's
even
true.
know if it really even fell. We know Palpatine died again.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
We don't know what's going on
That's true.
with that world again. I mean,
That's
20
true.
years they've had another revolt and rise. So
That's
again, like
true.
I said,
That's
rebels
true.
know how to be rebels. They don't know how to necessarily govern.
That's why I was thinking they had it when the first Death Star was being built, and the starfighters that flew with Luke into the thing, and they ended up getting killed. It'd been nice they made a movie about them
Yeah,
getting their skills up, then they go in there and get killed. That'd have been cool.
yeah, but I mean, we don't have that now. We're there. We're
Yeah,
we're doing something
we are.
different.
Yeah, I guess we are.
So yeah,
Doing.
that's what I'm
They
saying,
said,
man.
and it's discontinued from all that. So I'm like, are they going to be police? Are the starfighters going to be police? Because they are police technically.
And we don't know if it's Hala Han Solo, was he a smuggler? Like we don't. It's so much we don't know about this story.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I just don't want to come into another I told you so.
Jesus Christ. What
Mhm.
have you I told you so?
What's up?
What have you I told you
All the
so?
time. I'm notoriously known for it. That's
Give
my
me a
thing.
give me an instance of you I told you so.
Daredevil.
You didn't tell me that's a Rakai you told
uh-huh.
or said tell that. I didn't have a discussion with you about that.
Uh-huh. Ahsoka.
uh, I say give it a shot. Or at the very minimum, have an open mind. Because I think
I
it could
have open mind for it. I want to be wrong. I'm
yeah,
okay with that.
yeah. It could be good. I guess the funks in the chat, if we talk about Marvel, what are we talking? Fox Marvel, Disney Marvel, Sony Marvel,
Yeah,
Netflix
that's true too.
Marvel. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
They've
Because
had,
Netflix went on the run too.
I'm about to say they've had hits with all of them.
Yeah. Sony, all of them
Yeah,
hits.
they've had hits. Sony's had hits with Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
the Spider-Verse, amazing. Fox had hits with the early X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm. They did. They all
Yeah.
had
Then
hits.
the Netflix, I thought Luke Cage, Daredevil. Yeah. So all of them had hits. The only one I would take away from, and I liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it. The Universal Hulk. I liked the first Hulk movie.
I did too.
Or the
I
only
li-
Hulk
I
movie
don't know.
we
I
had.
didn't like. I like that Hulk. I don't know if I like the movie.
I
I like
liked
that
it.
interpretation of Hulk.
Yeah.
Ang Lee didn't give me no real villains. He gave me dogs and Thunderbolt.
and it was and it was early. Well, the MCU it
It
was
was.
even thought about at the time.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I liked. I thought Edward Norton was a good Bruce Banner. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Maybe the Starfighter movie be a buddy cop movie
Could be.
because Ryan Gosling kills that.
Yep. So
Maybe
good.
they're trying to do something different. I'm okay. It's a bold step.
Yeah. So let's
It's a bold step because the last Force user they gave us was Ray. No, actually, it's Sabine.
Sabine.
Yeah,
Give us the
and
last one they gave us.
and prior to that was Ray,
Mm-hmm.
and both of those have left sour taste in my mouth.
Mm.
Unfortunately,
The character of Ray didn't.
Ahsoka's dope,
The
but
character of Ray didn't necessarily leave a bad taste in my
no,
mouth. It was the way they approached her that I
yeah,
had.
the way they Mary sued her, they Mary
Yeah.
sued the hell out of her,
I didn't like how they did that.
and yeah, I just read an essay on Mary suing people on in my news. It was I think it's from New Yorker.
Mm,
Hollywood Mary suing women is actually making properties not as good as it could be.
mm.
And
Now,
so
what is Mary suing?
where you make women characters OP.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they get over their first tragedy in the movie before the first chapter, the first third of the movie, and then they're OP'd all the way through it or through the
Do
series.
you think that's an instance of maybe men kind of writing characters
I think it is men writing characters
for
for
women?
women. I think it is. I think we don't have enough women writers.
And it's talking about now because they just released the
Yeah.
image of the Silver Surfer.
Yep.
And so, but the internet's just doing what the internet does.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it. They don't have enough women writers in the rooms,
Well, that's
and then the
definitely
right
true.
women write authentically to women.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
You
Like they don't
know,
have enough people of color, black people, or
yeah,
they don't have
yeah.
enough, in
Like
room.
the beauty of Birds of Prey was that Harley Quinn wasn't running up to somebody and just punching them in the face, knocking them out. She was clipping legs and stuff like that, like making men vulnerable, then taking them down. And that's what made it dope. Because it was like you had a woman run their stunts, and she said a woman couldn't just punch a man in the face and knock him out.
Or a big dude, right?
A
Like a
big dude,
big
yeah, really big
muscular
dude,
dude,
yeah, a big
right?
dude, yeah. So they found other ways to handle that, and that was beautiful.
Yeah,
That's just it. I mean, you and Rodney convinced me.
yeah, man.
I'm I'm open minded about it now, but I first saw it and I was like, that's not what we need right now.
I
Come
just
on,
don't know, so I don't know. I haven't
come
seen
on,
enough to
guys.
say that it is or it isn't.
It's not a first movie neither. It's 2027, so nobody knows if it's going to be the first movie.
Yeah, that's it. And I
I
think
do
that's what
hope
they're
that
trying to
Filoni
build
becomes a
Filoni out
more
to
of
be
Faye type.
Feige. He got the expanded role at
Yes,
Lucasfilm, so
yeah. Filoni's dope. He's
or
dope. So
or
I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have a Bad Batch movie. That's gonna be an announcement because we got to have Omega because Omega's still out there. We're gonna get her in live action. I would
yeah,
love to see that.
that would be
You know what I'm
interesting. That
saying?
definitely be dope.
You
Uh,
know,
Also though, like Lucasfilm is more than it's the biggest property, but Lucasfilm is technically more than Star Wars.
it is.
So
It's
does he
Indiana
focus?
Jones.
Huh?
It's Indiana Jones. It's
Yes,
John.
Indiana Jones technically is the wizard dude, Willow.
Willow. Hmm.
Uh,
We saw that. It
yeah,
came out of Lucas.
yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's technically a little bit more than just
Yeah.
Star Wars. I would like Filoni to focus more on Star Wars because I just believe that's where his passion and it's his wheelhouse. So I'd like to see him be Kevin Feige type thing. The only problem I necessarily say with him being Kevin Feige is sometimes you look at things from a managerial position and you're
That's what
not
I'm saying.
actually creating.
You're not creating. Yes.
You're
Yes.
overseeing, you're
Yes.
budgeting, you're doing all of those things. I want I want Filoni in the trenches.
Well, it's hard for him to be in the trenches of movie live action stuff because he knows anime, but he knows
Again,
animation really
yeah,
well.
I just like the story, like him to be. I want him to have the same role that James Gunn now
Mm,
has
mm,
at
mm. That's fair.
DC.
That's fair.
I want him to get a business partner to handle all of those other things, and he focuses his energy on creative. Because James Gunn's wrote, I don't know if he directed, but he wrote Superman and
Hmm.
he wrote Monster.
We'll
So
see.
like, huh?
We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see.
that's the level that I
I'm the
want
creative.
Filoni.
I'm the creative guy here. I'm the CCO, and I run it all. But I have this guy handling all the managerial stuff, the
Right.
politics.
Right. That's what I want Filoni to be. I want Filoni to like get him a business partner and they handle all of the business and he's able to be in depth in the creative, hands on in the creation. That's just how I see it.
Yeah,
But I
I
think the
see it.
world is better. I think our genre is better when Star Wars is strong.
I agree. I agree.
And
I agree.
so,
I agree. I want to see Star Wars gives everybody a run for their money. Like,
I do
holy
too.
shit, you
I
see
want to see
that?
Star Wars taking everybody's lunch.
Right now, Avatar's doing that.
Well,
Avatar's taking everybody's lunch right now.
I mean, the thing
And the
is,
Fast and the Furious films, I don't know how that's a
it,
thing, but
it's
it's
a
a
great
thing.
time to be alive,
It
right? I
is.
mean,
It
we've
is.
got extraordinary
I
products.
wish somebody make a Transformers GI Joe film.
No, like, and it's not even just like live action. Like, Arcane is as cinematic as anything in this world.
Hmm.
It's
It is.
beautiful and it's
It is.
great, right? So, like, if you're a kid and you're growing up, like, you saw Arcane, you saw Solo Leveling, you saw Jujutsu Kaisen, you seen, all these great properties out there. Like,
I agree.
I just want Star Wars for this generation, even my generation, to be mentioned in that same breath.
I want to see them bar set again.
Yeah, me too.
Star Wars sets the bar. Used to
Right.
always set the bar, and I
It
guess I
did.
hold them in that regard. You know what I'm saying? But now they turn into the Cowboys,
And that's kind of like, and that's what I
and it
don't want to
hurts.
see.
It
Right. Yeah.
hurts.
I don't
Yeah, it
want to see
hurts.
that. Yeah. I want to see the next Star Wars movie where like the tech and the visuals are so outstanding. It's
And
like,
the acting and everything just
right.
comes
It's like,
in.
wow. Like I want to leave the next Star Wars project feeling like I felt when I saw Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, yeah. Like when you look at you can go visit the original Star Wars trilogy, and it's still bar setting. You're like,
Yeah.
this is really dope.
Yeah. So yeah, like I want to walk out like not saying, oh, it was good or it was great. It's like I want to tell everybody like you need to go see it. Like I want to go see it twice.
Hmm.
And then get the limited edition, Blu-ray or whatever when it comes out.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like that is what I want for a Star
Yeah,
Wars
we all
project.
want it. We all want it. And we
That's
know
it.
it can be done because
I know it can be
we
done.
see, we see artists do it every day.
Yeah, because we live in a great time with just
Hmm.
amazing content.
Yep. And the franchise this big and this
Right.
flushed out with money
Yeah,
and
that's right.
time
Like money should never be a thing. It's
is
like,
not a thing.
right.
It shouldn't be a thing.
Like spend the whole bag. Spend the whole
Yes.
bag.
Get the best writers you can get.
Everything. Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, yeah.
Like get you a
Go.
Luca. Get you a Luca. Go find the Luca somewhere.
Yeah.
Get you a
Like,
Steph
yeah.
Curry at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I feel
Exactly.
about it. That's how I
Yeah.
feel
That's
about
what I'm
it.
saying. Like
And
the money,
I feel like they're
nothing should
penny
be like,
pinching. They're penny
yeah. Like
pinching
let's
everywhere
sit.
to go. Oh, let's get a good actor, but let's not hire a really strong writer.
Right.
Or let's not hire the best cinematographer. And it bothers me. It's like
Yeah.
you
Like,
can afford to buy the best of everything and make
yeah.
the best thing.
Right. And
We're
that's
not
what
saying that
like,
all the best things can make the best movie, but you can try, and you haven't
yeah.
even tried that yet.
And that's what I want. And that's what I want. I want to
Yeah.
walk out feeling like I felt about Endgame. Like, Jesus, they just stuck
They just want to
the
go back in there and watch it again.
right. Right. Like, yeah, like,
They just want to go back in and watch it again.
and
I
it
want that
does
thing.
set the bar, right?
Yeah,
Because
it
for,
says
for
bar
so long,
setting.
Star Wars was. It did set the bar.
Set the bar.
And that's what I
Set the
wanted to
bar.
be. I wanted to eat everybody's lunch. Like I want movies to can reconsider their release date because Star
Star
Wars,
Wars is coming out.
and it's like we
Yes.
don't we not
It's the Grand Theft Auto of
exactly.
movies.
It's like
Yes.
nah, we gonna push it back to August, right?
I want the
Because
TV shows to be that. Like,
yeah,
yo, that Star Wars TV show is coming. I'm so excited.
right.
Everybody's iffy about everything but Andor. Andor came and showed up.
Yes.
Andor's another thing I said. Me and Trey, I told Trey, I was like, told you. Because he was like, Andor is gonna suck because it didn't have space wizards in it. I said, it's gonna be good. Watch it be good. He's like, nah, it's gonna be bad. I come to Star Wars for space wizards. Now I'm on the side. I'm wishy-washy too. So I'm on the other side of that.
I come to Star Wars for Space Wizards. I don't know what, and
That's it.
I like Andor, and I like Andor, but
And they
I come
nailed
to
it.
Star
They
Wars for Space
nailed it.
Wizards.
They did this. They knocked that out the park.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, that's why when you said Ventress, I was like, how do we forget about
They
that?
have a Ventress property.
Yeah, I
It's
know they
coming.
got one coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've released a trailer for it, an early trailer, but yeah.
Knock it out the park with it.
That's what I want. And she's such a character.
Such a
She
big
should
character.
have a live action show. 'Cause
Exactly.
oh, yo,
Exactly.
her arc is so amazing. The
So
writing and
amazing. So
everything
amazing.
about it.
Everything
And you're
about
talking
her.
about in the era of like we want strong female
Women leads.
Asajj Ventress is like perfect.
And when
She
she
was
meets up with
made for
Ahsoka.
this era.
Yeah, but there's a lot of beauty in Star Wars.
Yeah, there is.
Like the size Ventress in Vo's story.
It's great.
Great story. Great
Yeah.
story. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good stories.
Yeah,
And I
so.
just want to see it. And I
I
think
do
them
too.
introducing something new has me like,
Yeah, man.
because y'all didn't do good with this new trilogy. Y'all concocted up for that doesn't have any source material whatsoever.
Well,
And then y'all got me something else y'all concocting up with no source material, and it scares me.
Yeah. So, and it
That's
didn't.
just it.
I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. But a lot of that too could have been. We were in a different world at that time too. Not as many
Mm-hmm.
properties were out there killing it like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so I think Lucasfilms and Star Wars suffered from not taking risk.
Yes. Yes.
Like for them to remake A New Hope for the first movie out the bat, which is like, wait, what?
Yep. Maybe this is it. Maybe this Starfighter movie is
Yeah.
a risk, a high
I'm
risk.
hoping.
Yeah.
I think I saw they showed some footage from Mandalorian and Grogu,
Mm-hmm.
and at Celebration, and so, of course somebody leaked it, and I saw some of it, and I'm like, it looks. I just like my first thought was like, this is gonna make $1 billion, dude.
And I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
And then so I mean, going back to just what you guys were saying about like exploring different parts of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
I really do hope. I actually don't think I hope Mandalorian Grogu isn't the last of it, because
Mm.
I want them to like retake Mandalore, and it's like there's
Yeah,
so much
that's
more
true.
that they can do.
Yeah.
Like they even teased it out in the last season of Mandalorian, with like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with the beast and all that stuff. Like, so there's a lot of that stuff that I still really want to see. And I think from what I read too, and again, they always kind of piecemeal this stuff out, was that
Mm-hmm.
the Mando movies were supposed to bring all the characters like Ahsoka. It was supposed to tie up all the storylines from like what's the name, with Ahsoka, with Mandalorian, with what's the name being
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, but also what's the name? What's the bad guy's name? Man, why am I blanking?
Thrawn.
Thrawn. Yeah, Thrawn was gonna be like the big bad. So I don't think. I think with Mandalorian and Grogu, it's only just one film, so I don't see that being that way yet, because Ahsoka just started. They announced that today too. They just started filming season 2 of Ahsoka. So
Yeah.
so if they're going to be wrapping up all the storylines, of those different series, it's going to be, at least one more movie.
Yeah.
Later
That
on
would
down
seem
the
like
line.
hard to do with one
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
I
hard.
think I'm okay with just the Mandalorian Grogu movie and it be titled Mandalorian Grogu, but they have Mandalorian movies.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Yeah,
okay,
I think that,
this movie kicks off this one movie kicks
right.
off a whole series of different types of movies.
Right. I think, I think the Mandalorians in
Oh,
itself
amazing.
can serve as standoff, like its own
Yeah.
Thor movies or Spider-Man movies, or
And it's
an America
people,
movie.
people are eating it up, man. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's like that is one thing that's really successful that they did.
The Mandalorian
Man,
movies don't
man.
necessarily have to intersect with all of the other movies. It's it's its own thing.
I just thought maybe y'all are correct, and the Starfighter movie is about starfighters and Mandalorians.
It's a lot of things. So I mean,
Because the starfighters are technically like police officers. But
Yeah,
we
the
don't, like
footage-
Randy said, I don't know. In 5 years from Ray going back to Tatooine, we don't know what's going on. The Emperor came out of nowhere on us in that third movie.
There's also a list too where
Yeah.
I have to look for it, because there's a list and it changes all the time, because they're like, oh, this is in development, or like, nah, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But there is a list, and it's actually quite long, of like all the movies they have in development right now
Mm-hmm.
for Star Wars. So maybe, and again, maybe bringing this full circle, maybe this Starfighter one is just kind of like tied to bide time. You know what I mean? Because all these other ones are in development, so it's like they just need a hit.
They do need a
They
hit.
need a film hit.
They need a big
Yeah,
hit.
so-
big hit. Yeah.
But the Mandalorian Grogu is going to be a hit. We know
Mandalorian Grogu
that.
is
We
gonna
know
be a
that.
hit. But
That's
like
2026.
But this is really just an extension of like the TV stuff. I think they
Yeah.
need like a film only hit. you know.
Yep.
And
I
that
mean,
kind of, yeah, because people don't, it's, I don't know. It'll be good. It'll be good. But like people don't necessarily know.
yeah, like I said, I'll send
Unless they
you the
know
link. It
Disney.
was the
Yeah.
footage. I was like, wow, this looks really good. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's gonna make $1 billion.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
out
So
here for it. I'm out here.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you gave me one good property and you gave me the Starfighter. Give me some. But understand, they need time to make a Star Wars movie. So you have Shermeen Obadiah Chenoway. He's doing an entitled Jedi Order film. And
Which,
that's the new Ray one. And then there's the Dawn of the Jedi film, which is James Mangold.
and I think that is where the big like change has to be, the big success has to be, is that Jedi Order film with Rey, because Rey's the most visible person from the movies. And it's, if it's big and it lands, and you can
Yeah.
kick off a whole Jedi universe from that.
Yeah. Yeah. They had to do something special. I said they had to get rid of the name Jedi and just let her have her own order. Give her her own order. Let her
I,
build her
I
own order.
I don't know if they can get rid of the name Jedi.
That's hard. Yeah, you don't want to throw it. You don't want to
Yeah,
waste it and throw it away.
yeah.
But call it something else. She's like, well, we're not Jedi because I don't know much of the Jedi teachings. However, I want to start something similar to them,
Mhm.
and they can call it whatever new order that is.
Yeah. I
Because
you definitely have other orders and other
yeah,
sects. I actually liked
I
where the
mean, they kind
Alkali
of
was
they,
going.
but they kind of teased that too, because basically that was
yeah,
what was supposed to be the last Jedi. Right? It was like
yeah,
there was like Luke and was trying to create a new order, and I think Ahsoka with all the like the old gods or the Mortis gods stuff that they're
mm-hmm,
doing, and Ahsoka, like
mm-hmm,
he's going, you know that that's gonna tie. I think that's gonna tie in something too, because he is trying to find out like the origins of the Force, right?
yep,
The end of the season one, they're on that planet and they found that
yeah,
thing. So it's like the Mortis gods and like the mother and
yeah,
all that
mother.
stuff.
You think
I found
Bender's gonna
everybody.
show up to them?
I think so. I mean, for the
You
You know
could.
scene,
it'd be dope.
it's
Yeah.
because I mean, and going back to Filoni, he's the one writing it. So,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and he
Yeah.
And
did,
Filoni gets
and
it,
he
right?
touched
Yeah.
it. He touched on it in Clone Wars, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and then they even had an animation poster like celebration 20 years, and like he's like
Mm-hmm.
one of the like let me try to find it actually. They released it and they gave it out to everybody, and it was like he was like one of the like prominent characters on the poster. Let's
It'd be
see.
nice if Bender shows up to Ray.
And,
Like,
and,
boom, I'm here. Let
and
me tell you about this.
I think that they should expand Force users.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I just think I would think Lucasfilms doesn't want to get rid of that branding of the Jedi. I think that would be
Yeah.
Nah, you can't
that
get
would
rid of
be
it. You can't.
very hard.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah, that would
Horrible.
be hard to do. But I
Yeah.
do think there's opportunity to expand
Yeah.
what we conceive of, or what
Yeah.
other people conceive of that don't know as much, what a Force user is. Force users are just not limited to
Yeah.
Jedi.
And they kind of did, right? Because they had the witches and
Right.
Witches.
Ahsoka,
Yeah.
Right.
and then they
Yeah.
tried
And
to
that's
do it with
what,
Acolyte, right?
and see, that's why
So
I like the Acolyte. A lot of people did. I liked it
I
because
like that.
I like because
gave
they showed
us,
him. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
dude,
gave us the Force can be used to serve whatever community you are in. And it showed how the witches used the Force to protect and serve their community. So I like that idea. Again, Bendu, the Mortis gods, like all of those things. The Force is
I
Is
mean,
that it?
yeah, they gave this out at celebration, so celebrating
yeah.
20 years of animation, and like he's prominent right there, like he's like, so I mean, I might be mixing up my characters, but isn't he one of the Mortis gods or the big guy in the middle?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the
He's
Mortis
beyond the
guys,
Mortis
now
God.
there's only what? Two of them.
One
One
left.
of them.
There's
It's
two.
only
Two.
one, right?
There's one. One. There's only one left.
Because
No,
the father passed.
and the son, they had to kill the son.
Yeah, the son was alive, but the daughter died. The daughter got killed.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
like
thought it was
isn't
the
like
son that was
like yeah, I have to like go back and watch all that because
Yeah, I gotta
that's
watch that again. It's been a
it's
while.
Yeah, the daughter got killed.
because
that's a dope
they really
poster.
are going to they're gonna cover that in Ahsoka
Yeah.
season 2.
Oh, you
So
got to show Bendu.
yeah, so
I know Filoni likes Bendu too.
yeah.
He's
And
a
then
fan.
real quick, I know we're closing, but I did find a list of like
You
where did
found
it
it?
go?
So
Of all the stuff in development. Where did I?
so I no, that's been doing the middle, isn't it?
It's Bendu. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I'm
Bendu.
been
Yeah.
saying. The big
Yeah,
dude,
that's
right?
Bendu.
He's the
yeah,
big
that's
dude.
Yeah.
been do.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
Bendu's there. He's not a Mortis god. He's
No,
holding
he's
up the
not a
Mortis
Mortis
god.
god. Ben
He's older
Bendu's
than
not
the
a
Mortis
Mortis god.
god. And he has an order. They said the
Yeah,
order of
right.
Bendu is a thing.
Yeah,
So
and Bendu will tell you like you Jedi and you Sith. Jesus, what are y'all doing?
what are y'all doing? My order is nothing like y'all.
Yeah, right, right.
My order is nothing like y'all are so violent.
Right. It's like, oh, just dealing with. Here's like, I'm not down
Right.
with any of
And
you
like I
all.
said, these lists are always changing because it's
They
like
are.
so there's the Ray movie,
Uh-huh.
and then he says Simon Kinberg's new Star Wars trilogy. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the new Ray movies, right? Or is it in
No,
something else?
no, no. The Ray movie is just one movie.
I thought
Simon
she
I
had
thought
a
it was
series
small.
of
I thought it was
movies.
a new
No,
trilogy.
no,
I thought she had a
it's just
trilogy.
one. It's just one
Oh,
movie.
wow.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was just
That's
one
interesting.
movie. And
I thought in the
then
new announcement they
Simon
said it
Kinberg.
was a new
Well,
trilogy
that's
with.
what I'm saying. It's confusing because there's like
Oh man.
Simon Kinberg. This one, like Simon Kinberg's new Star Wars trilogy, Mandalorian, Grogu, new Ray movie. See, it's just one movie.
Oh,
Oh,
James
interesting.
Mangold, one movie.
One
So,
movie. Yeah. That's why I have been very
uh,
worried because they do only
Filoni
standalone
Star Wars
movies.
movie. This is the one I was telling you about. The Filoni. This is the one that supposedly ties in like all the storylines for Thrawn.
Maybe that's what they're
Right.
doing. They're buying time. They're just trying to buy
Yeah,
time
that's
for
the thing.
individual movies.
Taika
Just buying
Waititi
time.
supposedly still working
Yeah, he
on
has a
it,
movie.
and it's only one. It's not a trilogy.
Yeah, it's only
John
one.
Levy, which we now know is what you call it,
Starfighter movie 5 years after
Lando.
Ray.
So Lando's
I
still.
thought they got rid of that
Well,
though.
they got rid of the TV series,
TV
Yeah.
series.
and
but
so
not
they
the
made it
movie.
into a movie. Is what I've heard. And then
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson supposedly has his own trilogy too. And he's gonna. That I do remember. They're gonna do.
So you can do more fuck you, J.J. Abrams in it.
But I thought that
But
this
he's
was
gonna
kinda
do
old.
after Knives Out, which I
Okay.
think is the next Knives Out is the last part of his contract.
I'm sorry,
And
we're
then-
good on Ryan
And
Johnson.
then supposedly Star Wars Rogue Squadron is still in development.
I think Ryan Johnson was the better director.
And then this is ready to cancel. Yeah, so they already came out and said Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie is not happening. I remember that.
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of other canceled run, but
Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie been interesting.
see, and that so that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's
they're
been
gonna
interesting
have
to see.
another season of Mandalorian.
I mean, he did give us 22 great films.
He did. He did.
His Star Wars movie been interesting.
I want to see anything to help Star Wars to do well. That's
Yeah, I get that. I think it will. I think there's just too. We'll see.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Peter Griffin's
Kylo.
right. Who wrote Arcane, because that was Sue crazy. It was Mary sued up.
She was crazy.
It was the women were super strong.
I don't know.
I love.
Arcane's a
I
bit.
enjoyed it. It's still
Arcane's
amazing.
amazing.
Still amazing, hands down. Probably the prettiest thing we will ever see in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
I went back to watch the episode because 2BX is an anime that came out, and people are comparing it to Arcane. And
I think the
I
other
was
thing
like, it's
too is
nice.
I think it would be interesting if like they went away, and they probably won't because that animation style is so set within Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars. But man, if they did like an Arcane style Star Wars animated,
It'd be over.
it should be
over.
fucking,
I
man.
think that's what they should be shooting for,
Yeah,
though.
but the
Like,
thing is,
Then
they're
they should
so-
buy Fortiche.
But they're like they're sticking to that look though.
the Clone Wars
yeah,
look.
the Clone Wars
the blocky look. the
Like
blocky
Bad
look.
Batch is that way. I mean, obviously it's gotten better, but they're
Yep.
sticking with that art direction.
and
but-
I get, but it's like they've got to compete with all these amazing IP
Do they though?
that
They
are out
got
here.
people like you that said give everything a chance. They don't have to compete.
But-
They're gonna get your money.
No, but they're not. That's the thing. They're not getting our money. It's been a decade since we've had a Star Wars movie because the last two failed. Star Wars is now behind. It's still
The
widely
movies, yeah.
popular, but
Movies
it's
wise.
Yeah,
behind.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
We just named 5 franchises that's eating this lunch. Harry Potter, Marvel,
Marvel,
Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings. Yep, yep.
We just named 5. We just talking about arcane. We have never talked about.
Fast and the Furious.
I'm going to skip that one,
No,
but
that's one that's eating his lunch.
agreed,
No,
agreed. But we don't talk about Star Wars the way we talk about arcane.
Transformers is eating his
Yeah,
lunch.
we don't talk. Yeah,
Turtles, Teenage
I
Mutant
never,
Ninja
I
Turtles.
never talk about Transformers, but that's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't.
We don't talk about. We do not talk about Star Wars the way we talk about Across the Spider Verse. We don't talk about it.
Mm-mm,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
Harry
It's
Potter,
like
Mark. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's eating his lunch.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. I feel like Star Wars has to do something
Mm-hmm.
where it says, nah, y'all had y'all little
Avatar, the
time.
Arabic Avatar.
Yeah, right. Like it's like y'all had your time. Now it's time for the big dog to come eat.
Yes,
Gotta,
yes,
it's like I
yes.
gotta
It
I
should be
like
undeniable. Like it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't even be up for discussion. They
right.
sell more merch than anybody. They have a whole freaking theme park to itself. That's
Yeah.
big. It's bigger than any other theme park except Epic, Universal Epic right now. But it was the biggest one, and it was out there crushing it.
Yeah. And right. And that's what I'm saying. So it needs something, an event that's so big that it's like
You
we
can't
back.
deny it.
Yeah, this
It
is
needs it needs a
like,
canon event.
yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of content, but it doesn't have content where it's the definitive leader. It
Yeah.
needs something that just says, like, we created this.
Hmm.
We created this. This is our table where we eat. And so a whole generation, this is like, yeah, man, I saw Star Wars and it blew me away. And
Yeah.
we've not had that in a very long time.
Very long time.
And while I love the franchise, it's my favorite franchise. That's what I want to feel
Hmm.
by by it.
That's all I'm saying, you guys.
It has lots of material out there, but it doesn't have something that we're saying this is the first thing that I'm going to see. Like it's better than Arcane. It's better than Across the Spider Verse. Like it's better. Like we don't leave Star Wars movies or talk about Star Wars feeling like that.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you, Chef. I love that monologue. Nothing else needs to be said. Thank you all for tuning in to Geek Beast. This was a happy hour, but it's quite sad for me. I'm sorry I brought everybody down at the very beginning. Randy. But yeah, Star Wars, we want you to win. This is a love letter to you because we
Yeah,
are
that's it.
diehard fans of you. And I cannot speak higher of your animated properties. They're the best animation I've ever seen, the best stories in animation I've ever seen. I just want to see that in the cinematic universe.
I do too.
Um, Shout out to Digital Click for always handling our marketing materials. Crystal always kills it. She's our art director. Shout out to Rodney for being a technical producer. And if y'all haven't seen, Rodney's been putting up shorts across YouTube,
Yeah,
across all the other social medias, and y'all are not liking them. Y'all need to like them and share them. Rodney is out here killing it. Oh
killing
my
it.
God, it's amazing. I log on my YouTube every day and it's something new. Like, oh, look
I'm
at
like,
this
oh
clip. I
yeah,
like it,
damn.
like
I'm
it,
like, oh
like it.
damn.
Yeah.
I sometimes I'll be like, I said that. That was dope.
Not only that, he's taken all our visual podcasts that we do live on YouTube and Twitch across all the social medias, and he's actually putting them in audio form. So also go to your Apple Music, go to Spotify, and say, "Hey, I'm going to subscribe to Geek Beast. I'm going to subscribe to Binge Worthy. I'm going to subscribe to Pod Squadron because they're there. They're there. They're there. They're there. And share us. Please, please, guys, share us with everybody. That's all we're looking for. Share us, like us. Soon we'll have our Discord up, and y'all can come in on our Patreon. But yes, we need to start making some Skrillola over here, some Skrill over here, and this will help us. And we want to become more and more popular. So while y'all looking at the screen right now, hit that thumbs up for us, please. I'm the first. I hit thumbs up number one. So hit the thumbs up for us and share us for all your friends and family. And consider them this. This is a really good episode. As and we talked about Star Wars, the things we geek out about. Um, I have nothing else to say. Thank you. Y'all have a great weekend. Go see Sinners and peace out.
We're gonna talk about it. Peace.